Good afternoon. This is the World News at 12 on 88.1 Smash FM. I am Adiboye Uluwafemi. First, the headlines. Tinubu set 30-day tax reform target. UI student makes panel. ECOWAS plans fresh sanctions on Burkina Faso and Mali. Labour rejects Gbajabiamila on subsidy negotiations. Resident doctors shelve planned nationwide protest. Pastor Taiwo Odukoya dies at 67. On the foreign scene, 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Italy. In business, Naira gains and exchanges at 757 Naira 0.51 kobo to dollar. And in sport, West Ham agree deal with United over Maguire's move. Details coming up shortly. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday set a 30-day tax reform target. He also expressed his resolve to break the vicious cycle of over-reliance on borrowing on public spending and the resultant burden of debt servicing. The president spoke while inaugurating the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, chaired by Taiwo Oyedele in Abuja on Tuesday. A 400-level economic student of the University of Ibadan, Orire Agbaje, was appointed by the president as a member of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. Tinubu urged the committee to improve the country's revenue profile and businesses' environment as the federal government move to achieve a 10% tax to GDP ratio within 3 years. The Economic Community of West African States has imposed heavier financial sanctions on the Niger junta and entities supporting them, including the governments of Mali and Burkina Faso. The development came after a diplomatic mission by the African Union, ECOWAS, United Nations and the United States to resolve the political impasse in Niger hit a brick wall on Tuesday as the military junta refused to grant audience to the delegations. The military leaders also snubbed the acting U.S. Deputy Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland, and denied her access to the coup leader, General Abdurrahmane Chiani, and ousted President Mohamed Bazoum, who was being held in the presidential palace. Some military officers led by Chiani overthrew Bazoum on July 26, leading to a flurry of sanctions imposed on Niger by ECOWAS to compel them to restore the ousted president to power. On Tuesday, presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale told journalists in Abuja that more sanctions had been imposed on the individuals and entities relating with the military junta. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has cancelled its planned nationwide protest billed to take place on today, Wednesday, August 9, 2023. The resident doctors are also likely to call off their ongoing strike soon. The national president of the association, Dr. Emeka Innocent Orji, announced the cancellation while briefing newsmen on Tuesday after meeting with Senate President Godswill Akpabio and other principal officers of the Senate at the National Assembly, Abuja. The association embarked on an indefinite strike on July 26, 2023, following the expiration of a two-week ultimatum issued to the government to meet its demands. Now that it planned to embark on peaceful protests from Wednesday and picket the Federal Ministry of Health, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, and federal and state tertiary health institutions in the country. The organized Labour on Tuesday rejected the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, as the head of the federal government team that will negotiate the Labour unions on subsidy removal palliatives. The national president of Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, made this known when the leadership of the Labour unions visited the Senate. According to him, the Chief of Staff has been too busy to call for a meeting, adding that President Bola Tinubu's Wage Award Committee has yet to sit almost 2 months after the fuel subsidy removal. The Labour leaders were in the Senate to meeting with the leadership. The NLC president, while speaking during the meeting with Senate leadership, lamented the plight of Nigerians as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. He said the government had yet to put structures on the ground to ameliorate the effects in the country. He told the lawmakers that while Labour leaders were still deliberating on 537 naira per litre of fuel and court had ruled for the status quo to remain, the government suddenly decided to increase the fuel to 620 naira per litre. The senior pastor of Fountain of Life Church, Taiwo Odukoya, has died. The church confirmed his demise on its Facebook page on Tuesday. The Lagos-based pastor died in the United States of America, USA, on Monday, the church said. The preacher's death comes less than 2 years after his 47-year-old South African wife, Nomthi Odukoya, died on the 9th of November 2021 and after a 2-year battle with cancer. He married Nomthi after his first wife, late Pastor Bimbo Odukoya, died in the Sosoliso plane crash in 2005. You're still listening to the World News at 12 on 88.1 Smash FM. More stories to come on the foreign scene in business, sports and entertainment. Stay with us.
Yes, the Alert 545 promo is here again. Now, even more explosive than ever before. Over 90 million naira to be won. You can't afford to miss this season of excitement. To qualify, fund your account with 5,000 naira. Maintain an average account balance of at least 5,000 naira monthly. Make a minimum of 5 transactions monthly on Alert or star 945 hash. And just like that, you could be 1 million naira richer. So, download Alert today or transact without internet on star 945 hash anytime, anywhere. Terms and conditions apply. Wema Bank, with you all the way.
I'm preparing for a big family party. What's the right soup that goes well with Golden Penny Semovita? A. Eforiru. B. Me and Taushe. C. Oha. D. All of the above.
All of the above.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct!
Yes, Golden Penny Semovita is my soup's first choice. Made with premium wheat and enriched with vitamins. It's the right combo for Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to the World News at 12 on 88.1 Smash FM. Now moving on to the foreign scene. On the died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa, survivors told local media. A group of 4 people who survived the disaster told rescuers that they were on a boat that had set off from Sfax in Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. The 4 survivors, originally from the Ivory Coast and Guinea, reached Lampedusa on Wednesday. More than 1,800 people have lost their lives so far this year in the crossing from North Africa to Europe. The survivors, 3 men and a woman, told rescuers that they were on a boat carrying 45 people, including 3 children. 11 people are missing after a fire broke out at a holiday home in disabled people in eastern France. Local authorities said 17 others were led to safety, with 1 person taken to the hospital. Interior Minister Gerald Damanin said there were likely several casualties after the fire ravaged the cottage, which was hosting the group from Nancy. The fire, however, broke out at 6:30 a.m. in the northeastern town of Wittenham, which is close to border with Germany. Jeremy Festus is standing by for the business news. Stay tuned.
In business, the Naira on Tuesday appreciated against the dollar, exchanging at 757.51 Naira at the investors and exporters window. The Naira gained by 2.23% when compared with 774.78 Naira, for which it exchanged for the dollar on Monday. The open indicative rate closed at 782.59 Naira to the dollar on Tuesday. A spot exchange rate of 799.90 naira to the dollar was the highest rate recorded within the day's trading before it settled at 757.51 naira. The naira sold for as low as 700 naira to the dollar within dollars was traded at the investors and exporters window on Tuesday. Firms are considering a repayment plan proposed by deposit money banks to end the 120 billion naira debt on the unstructured supplementary service data service. A source said the Central Bank of Nigeria was intervening in the dispute and planned a meeting with both parties. The source noted that the debt had continued to increase in 2023 due to continued patronage of the USSD channel. Telcos and banks had been having disagreements on the debt since 2019 over the payment of the USSD debt. And finally, in business, the federal government has said the financial worth of direct economic damage in Nigeria caused by floods in 2022 is $7 billion.